Today on the list, keep your pet safe at the dog park, music to boost your mood, and
fold the top over. It's a little present.
turn holiday leftovers into the perfect breakfast.
Throw an egg on top and serve it with some beans, and it's just like a breakfast made in heaven.
Plus, how to ease your way into retirement.
It is really important to make sure that the money you do have is working for you.
But up first, become a master of small talk. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey guys, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes. And KG, right now we're living through what people are calling the third golden age of television.
Yeah, broadcasters and streaming services are going all out, spending big money on big names. Now, the problem for viewers like myself, there is so much good TV that I don't know how to keep up with it all.
KG, I got you covered. I'm learning the art of using fake conversation to stay tuned in. And that's our featured story at the top of the list. It's unavoidable.
Ted Lasso welcome wagon has arrived.
You're at work,
Everyone here will participate in 6 different games.
the gym, or hanging out with friends,
So glad you could make it.
and they're obsessing over the new TV series with all the buzz.
This is the way.
And you're stuck on the sideline because you haven't seen the show.
It's like listening to gossip about people I don't know.
Casey Mendoza is an entertainment correspondent at Newsy.
People started using the term peak TV to describe the hours of television that people needed to watch to have cultural currency.
Hey, I want to have cultural currency, but I also want time to, eat, sleep, do laundry. So I enlisted the help of Mark Evan Jackson from peak TV series such as Parks and Recreation and The Good Place.
I ruled the fart inadmissible.
Mark got to start doing improv, and
In an improv show, the audience is going to shout anything in the world.
improvisers have to make a scene out of it. So do improvisers just know everything? Of course not. But they figured out you need to know just one key reference.
You prove that you know a little bit about it right away.
And then fake the rest. Like this, Jackson Pollock,
Splatter painting. Happened by mistake.
The Godfather.
Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
So it dawned on me, if I know the Game of Thrones has dragons and a big swordy throne, I could pretend I watched it and save myself 70 hours and 14 minutes of binging. That's almost 3 solid days. So today we're saving time by faking conversations about Zeitgeist TV. First, if you never plan to watch the show, spoilers don't matter. So Google the recaps.
I read a lot of recaps from fans and critics, and it really helps me figure out what is buzzy, what is being talked about. So I know about their tones, I know about the premise, the plot, the characters, without, having to sit down and spend hours actually watching it.
And sometimes all it takes to be the life of the water cooler is to watch one key scene.
This Is Us is such a great example because one of the last scenes, Mandy Moore's character is seeing people in her life in a dream. So it gave me almost like a little peek in on the fandom, just to get a sense of what people were talking about.
And one scene can be all you need to join a series' ongoing big argument.
With social media, there's so much discourse, for example. The ending of Game of Thrones is really divisive. And you can take a stance, especially if you have the basic context.
Finally, you could always go with the simple name drop.
I will read a character's wiki page that was written by fans, and I love their enthusiasm. It's what makes it interesting and zeitgeisty.
And if you don't know the characters' names,
knowing the actors is really helpful too. Like, if you've never seen Yellowstone, you can say, I really like Kevin Costner's work. And you're not lying, but you're not necessarily talking about Yellowstone.
And yeah, when friends are buzzing about a show, you could just be honest.
I've become more comfortable saying, I don't know where that's from, or I don't understand that reference.
But what's the fun in that? Shortcutting your way into the pop culture conversation is at the top of the list.
Well, tamales have long been a holiday tradition in the Latino culture, but we come to share this favorite with all people. So get a seat at the table because we are looking at the history of tamales and a few you can make at home.
Tamales, the tasty Mexican treat of masa and delicious fillings, have a special meaning for Latin American families around the holidays.
My memory goes back to my childhood, going to my Nana's house on Christmas Eve. She always had a pot of beans. She always had a big pot of red and green tamales, and it just takes me back to the holidays.
Tim Vasquez, owner of some Burros restaurants in Tempe, Arizona, is keeping that tradition alive, sharing some of his family favorites. But first, we're learning to build a basic tamale. You'll need masa, some husks, and filling.
Once you take the husk or the hoja, you put a little of the masa on it, slather it on mostly just the bottom half,
You can pre-make or buy your own masa already loaded with some of the ingredients.
This has the red chili in it. That has whole kernel corn and also cheese in it.
Next, add your fillings.
And then you kind of spread whatever filling you have down the middle, so whoever's eating it gets a little bit in each bite. Fold the top over.
It's our little
roll
present.
it up. It's a little present.
Not too bad. I still got
that
my
is perfect
skills.
right there.
Cook time varies depending on quantity. Now on to our first finished product, the breakfast tamale.
This is the Senor Jorge, named after my dad, George.
This got its start as a leftover dish.
You just take the red tamale, you put it on a skillet, you get it fried and crispy, throw an egg on top, and serve it with some beans, and it's just like a breakfast made in heaven.
Tastes like Christmas morning.
Fun fact, tamales were the world's first to-go food.
So it actually comes from a Mayan and Aztec word tamal, which means wrapped food.
Oh, it's like the OG to-go food.
Yes, actually hunters and warriors used to package them up and take them with them.
We'll wrap it all up with the classic beef tamale.
This is the quintessential Christmas tamale. This is our red beef tamale. It's got the great masa in it, but then also it's got shredded beef throughout. And sometimes traditionally, you'll get an olive in the middle.
Don't you think the key to a perfect tamale is the masa and the meat ratio?
Yes, that is so important. You don't want to get a bite of just masa. You don't want a bite of just beef. It needs to be spread out perfectly, and I'm hoping this one is for you.
And that corn husk shell is thought to be one of the world's first uses of upcycling.
Rather than throw it away, they use it to wrap the tamale.
I mean, truly eco-friendly people.
And they were going green way back 8,000 years ago.
Gotta get the masa. Oh man, that is so good.
For Tim's family tamale recipes, head over to thelisttv.com. Wrapping a gift of tasty tradition with holiday tamales.
Back in the day, retirement meant you work 40 hours a week until you're 65 and then you just stop. But emotionally and financially, most of us aren't ready for a change that big and that sudden. So Teresa Strasser's looking at the art of retiring in stages.
Working your whole life and one day retiring is like being on a freeway and slamming on the brakes. A less jarring way to do it may be in strategic phases.
For some people, it might be mini retirements where they take breaks maybe at age 40 to spend more time with their kids or travel. For other people, it might be to volunteer or work part-time for benefits or to get 401k contributions and back off of the 40-hour work week.
Mamie Wheaton, a certified financial planner with Learn Lux Financial Wellbeing in Phoenix, Arizona, shares tips on how to gently throttle down your work life and retire in stages. For starters, keep growing your savings.
If you're retiring in stages, you want to make sure that you're pulling from the right account for tax purposes.
If you have a 401k or IRA, she says to avoid pulling cash from those accounts before you're 59 and a half.
Because you could be hit with a 10% penalty for pulling that money out too early.
Mamie also says to make sure any cash savings are in high-yield savings accounts, equities, bonds, and annuities.
It is really important to make sure that the money you do have is working for you.
Next, work part-time.
As you're approaching retirement and you're not quite sure whether you are ready to retire yet, consider what are some things that maybe wanted to do but didn't do.
Like starting your own business or being a consultant.
Everybody always is looking for consultants out there. And so you could potentially consult where you're still bringing in an income, but you're scaling back your hours.
If retiring in stages is more mental for you than financial,
you could look at volunteering, or you can just look at a field that maybe you were interested in previously, but maybe didn't pay enough. And now you have a little bit more of a cushion and an opportunity to do that.
Finally, boost your Social Security.
Check your Social Security and you can pull your most recent statement to estimate what you're going to be getting in retirement.
She says when you take Social Security matters.
When you're first eligible for Social Security at age 62, you'll get 100%.
If you can wait until you're 70,
that percentage will go up and you will actually get more than you would get at age 62.
However, for some people, she says taking Social Security when they're first eligible may let them avoid pulling money from other retirement accounts and investments.
It's very individualized, and it's definitely really important to plan for Social Security when you're planning your overall retirement.
Make it a soft landing into your golden years.
Still to come on the list, why you should bring your own water to the dog park.
We're gonna follow some rules so we can have some fun. Right, bud?
Plus, how this viral video helped a woman retire.
I'm gonna miss my customers because they look for me every day.
And
I literally love this one so much.
let Kelly Clarkson make you stronger.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
All that and more ahead on the list.
Welcome back, friends. Well, there is a chill in the air and evenings come early these days, so it is easy to forget that your dog needs fresh air, exercise, and interaction with the outside world.
And one place you can get all of that is at the dog park. And best of all, there are some that are even indoors.
Perfect. Well, whichever you choose, there are things to consider before you and your pup go and play. And Jackie Denker is giving us the scoop.
So we want to make sure that this guy doesn't go.
Yeah, don't let any dogs bolt out the gate. Close the second gate securely behind you.
Dog parks can be great for exercise and socialization for you and your pup. But
there's a few things you should probably consider before bringing your Fluffy to the dog park.
So to give us the rundown, we turn to co-owner of Dr. Kelly's surgical unit, Doug Patriquin.
We're gonna follow some rules so we can have some fun. Right, bud?
Doug says before you even head to the park, check in with your dog's health.
Preventative maintenance such as vaccination. Most counties and most states require you to have a rabies vaccination. You definitely want to be up to date on that. A few others that you might not consider are the parvo distemper virus or bordetella. Both are extremely contagious.
And then those are things that maybe they can catch from other dogs in the dog park?
Correct. Just from sniffing the grass or from drinking from the same water bowl.
And if your dog isn't spayed or neutered, there's a couple of things to keep in mind.
Male dogs that are not neutered can have a bit more of aggression.
Are you not aggressive, are you?
If your young lady has not been spayed and she is heading into heat, she's going to gather a lot of unwanted attention.
Next, come prepared.
Well, you might want to bring your own water bowl and your own water. Not only do you know where that water came from, but you know the cleanliness of the bowl.
And remember to bring a leash.
Clearly, leaving the car and entering the park, you want to have control of your dog.
And once you're in, make sure you scope out the scene.
Is there a lot of energy? Is your dog ready for that?
This is high energy pup right here.
He says there are usually two different sections, one for smaller or low energy pups.
And then a bigger dog park, which tend to be more anxious dogs. Which one of those is going to be the best fit for your pet and their temperament?
Right.
And finally, make sure you pay attention.
How important is it for us to keep our head on a swivel?
You really have to be paying attention to what's going on. Not all situations are going to be great, just like dropping off your kid at daycare.
So stop scrolling on that phone.
You should be making sure your pet is safe. They're not leaving messes around. The situation is the best for your pet.
And keep an eye out for signs that your dog wants to call it quits.
If your dog's getting overstressed, panting very heavily, tired and even laying down far from you, you might consider it's time to go.
And then when we get home, are there certain things that we have to do?
You want to make sure the dog is cooling down properly. Make sure there's plenty of fresh, clean, and cooled water for them available. And then if they don't recover relatively quickly, you just want to keep an eye on them, make sure that they're not overheated.
You're doing so good!
Learning some basics so you and your pup can have a fun time at the dog park.
All right, time to showcase those who go out of their way to do something good for others. They remind us kindness wins. All right, first up is a TikTok community that came together to help an 81-year-old Walmart worker in New Jersey retire.
I'm going to completely retire the first of the year. I'm going to help them out for the holidays, and it'll be good to stay home.
So earlier this month, TikToker Devin Bonagura posted a clip of Nola Carpenter as she sat alone in a break room. It was seen over 28 million times and was flooded with comments asking for a GoFundMe to support her. And when it was created, it raised over $100,000 in the first 24 hours.
When I leave Walmart, I'm going to miss my customers.
How long specifically did you work at Walmart?
I worked at Walmart for 20 years.
That is incredible. Okay, up next, we highlight a nonprofit that gives cancer patients the opportunity to make priceless memories with their loved ones.
Since the very beginning, Little Pink Houses of Hope has been thrilled to be able to offer the gifts of time, happiness, and hope.
Little Pink Houses of Hope was founded by Janine Patton-Coble in 2009, shortly after she received a breast cancer diagnosis. The organization provides free week-long retreats for other breast cancer patients and their families.
We got to go on a retreat as a family, and it was one of the most wonderful experiences in my family's life, and it's something we always talk about and look back on.
For the past 12 years, nearly 2,000 families have benefited. You can learn more at littlepink.org. And finally, a woman from Finland who travels the globe cleaning the homes of strangers for free.
Hi, I'm Auri-Katarina, the best cleaner in the world.
The self-described queen of cleaning quit her full-time job in the summer of 2021 and is now a social media sensation with over 1.8 million YouTube subscribers and 8 million followers on TikTok. In her videos, not only do you get to see some dramatic before and afters, but you also get an insight into those she helps.
That's why I want to film every home cleaning that I do. It can help someone somewhere when everyone can see that cleaning a house like this isn't an impossible task at all.
Amazing. And those are 3 stories that show kindness wins. Lots more coming up. Stay with us.
Welcome back. And when you're looking for a boost, the right playlist can really bring the magic. So we're firing up some confidence anthems you'll want to listen to so you can crush whatever obstacles lay ahead.
Turn up the volume, because these are confidence-boosting songs you'll want to play on repeat.
Sometimes you want to put a song on that just makes you feel like a bad bee. You know what I mean? It gives you that confidence boost and makes you feel like you could do anything.
Apple Music host Brooke Reese highlights 4 songs that'll do the trick. Starting with a song by Queen, Don't Stop Me Now.
Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity.
Obviously, Queen is just iconic for just like belting out the lyrics and these songs being so special and full of emotion. And this one specifically.
The hit was written by Freddie Mercury and released as a single in 1979, during a time when rumors were swirling around the singer's sexuality.
Which, by the way, was nobody's business. But the fact that he was getting out there and just, you know, like, don't stop me now. Oh, it's just so simple. I literally love this one so much.
Moving on to a dance track by the queen of pop, Madonna, Express Yourself. The 1989 song, though originally written as a feminist anthem, has also been embraced by the LGBTQ plus community as a pride anthem.
People are still screaming it and singing it at the top of their lungs. I mean, it's as simple as literally putting this song on and express yourself. Just like be who you are, and it's all good.
Let's fast forward to the early 2010s for a song by Kelly Clarkson, Stronger.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller.
The title track from the singer's 5th album is all about empowerment and recovery after a heartbreak.
I mean, honestly, though, like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. People have been saying it for years, but putting it into songs and feel something, it lifts that negative energy, and you can just put yourself out there.
Finally, we've got a 2019 hit by Lizzo, Juice.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, don't say it 'cause I know I'm cute.
Basically, all of Lizzo's songs are about self-empowerment and self-love. I feel like she's been writing music like that, not only for her fans, but for herself as well. If you are definitely feeling like you need a little bit of that self-confidence boost, that is an artist I think that you should immediately go to and press play on, because your mood will instantly be lifted.
We're treating ourselves to some confidence anthems on the playlist.
Oh, those are so fun. Now, Jimmy, I hear your confidence anthem is... I'm too sexy.
Really? You're dropping a Right Said Fred reference. That's bold. Actually, that would make a good pre-date anthem.
Certainly would. Speaking of dating, we are decoding hand gestures to help you on your next date. Yeah, last on our list is next.
Welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list. And KG, people on dates are sometimes shy about putting all their emotional cards on the table.
Oh, sure. You might want to play it cool, right? Reveal your feelings strategically.
So basically lie?
No, I call it protecting your feelings.
Okay, well, if you're trying to find the real meaning behind the words, here's a suggestion that was new to me from TikTok dating coach Jacob Lucas.
This is 5 body language secrets of how to tell what somebody is thinking by the way they move their hands when they are talking to you.
Okay, interesting. For instance, he says steepling means the speaker is feeling superior.
Ooh, bad news, red flag.
Yes, and the finger pointing upward and kind of going back and forth like this means, okay, you just listen, don't interrupt.
Ooh, another red flag.
That's aggressive.
Well, 2 whole generations now have grown up by communicating by text, emoji, social media, so a lot of experts are worried that face-to-face communication skills are in serious decline. It's kind of ironic that it's TikTok to the rescue, but guys, I am also here to help. Okay, if you see this.
Okay, that looks kind of closed off.
Yes, exactly. Okay, this one right here, twiddling your thumbs.
That's not good.
Nope.
Well, what's that mean, swinging the arms?
Swinging the arms? It means that you are boring.
Okay, it's not good to be boring on a date.
No. Okay, Jimmy, do you have any to add to the list?
You know, the only hand signal I know I can't really do on
Jimmy,
TV.
no. How about we 2 fingers peace? This is a good one.
Okay, I use that.
Truce.
Truce.
Truce. And that's what's last on our list. Friends, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on the list.
I love cooking and I love feeding people.
Home-cooked meals that are easy to make.
They're such a winner.
And what you can do to protect your memory.
Hearing is very important for processing information.
Plus,
your wet on wet and your wet on dry are what you're going to need.
Discover these unusual watercolor techniques.
It feels so Picasso-like.
That's tomorrow here on the list.